switch on to Chris, and you say, how's Chris doing that? It's because Luka was trying to guard him.
So who was guarding Chris Paul in the Pelican series?
I don't care. I'm talking about Luka is not a superstar.
No, hold on.
Not a superstar.
Wait a minute.
Not a superstar.
But you make it seem like Chris Paul, this is the first time Chris Paul has done that. Do you remember when he did that to Paul George and Patrick Beverley?
Yeah.
Do you remember that he did it last series?
This was egregious.
Skip.
This was shocking.
But
this was hard on the eyes.
Okay. Are you gonna say Joel Embiid's a superstar? You say you going that far?
Sure, I am.
Okay, Joel and I would say Luka, superstars. Jokic is a superstar. LeBron. Okay, let's just say there's 7 superstars. How many of them play lockdown defense like Kobe when Kobe was at his apex? Jordan when he was at his apex? Bron when he was at his apex? Tell me the other superstar. If Kevin Durant locking people down?
What do I tell you? I'll take Embiid over Jokic any day or night because Embiid will play defense. He rim protects. He blocks shots.
There have been very few times in the history of the game that a superstar was a superstar on both ends. You've got to go back a very, very long way to especially find wing guys, guards that can lock it down on one end and then light your butt up on the other end. But to say Luka isn't a superstar because he's not a great defender, we've seen great offensive players be superstars and not be up to par. The thing that makes Luka great offensively, Skip, he's slow. He's very slow-footed, but he knows where he wants to go and how to get there. When you're a defender and you're slow-footed, you're at their mercy. And that's what his problem is, because once they put him in the pick and roll, the initial move is over.
Okay, so are you going to amend your proclamation to he's just an offensive superstar?
He's a superstar. Take it how you want to. He's a super Skip. We've seen guys that just go get the quarterback and be great players, and they don't play the run. Trayvon Diggs made first-team All-Pro and gave up the most yards in the history of the game as a defender. So what are we supposed to do with that, Skip? All of a sudden say, no, we don't want Trayvon Diggs. Luka Doncic, if you had a draft, Luka Doncic is going to be a top 5 player, Skip. He's a top 5 player.
Extremely overrated, hard to win with, hard to overcome on that end of the floor and on the turnover side of the offense. Led the league in turnovers per game. Could we just see, let's just do last night. Could we see the 7 turnovers just last night, please, if we could?
Sure.
Because Shannon wants to stay on the game last night. Here's last night's 7 turnovers. 7, he had 4 in the second half. That started the game. That's how they started. That was their first possession. And I don't know where I'm going to go with the ball, so I think I'll just throw it into the backcourt.
Well, that's jumping up in there with no play.
I think I'll throw it over there and throw it out of bounds, okay? You want to talk about green light on offense? He also leads the NBA in usage rate.
Well, Skip, we're not surprised by that. Okay? We knew he was going
to lose the ball, and that's just a bad idea.
That's careless. Yes.
And whoops, no. That's Westbrookian. Then, whoops, it's just...
I mean, I don't know how Cam Johnson fall down and just steal the ball on his back.
Okay, so the point is, you realize this man is taking 8.8 threes per game. So let's call it 9 threes per game. That's the 7th most in the league this past regular season. 7th most in the league, yet he ranked on percentage 103rd of 145. That is a team-killing stat. I keep giving you the LeBron stat, but LeBron is only 15th most and is 10 slots higher in percentage than Luka. So Luka is hurting his team over the duration of the regular season far more than even LeBrick is hurting his team. Superstar? I think not.
So let me ask you a question. He has the highest scoring average in NBA history, even higher than Michael Jordan.
Phony baloney.
Skip, he got it. He has it. 33.5, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. That's what he has. And Skip, think about who he got these numbers against. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverley, Mikal Bridges, and Jay Crowder. Are any of those guys all defensive players? Kawhi is a 2-time defensive player of the year, and he cooks him every time. Paul George is a top elite defender. Cooks him every time. Mikal Bridges almost won the defensive player of the year. Giving him work.
Let's see, the Clippers were down 0-2 going to Dallas for a Friday night game, and the Clippers won the series.
Why were they down?
How was that? Where was Luka? At one moment, Luka was laughing. Ha, 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 I'm scoring on you every time. Ha, ha, ha. And guess who had the last laugh?
Skip, the
Clippers.
The man averaged 36. The man averaged 36. What was Porzingis?
Couldn't get it home.
Okay, Skip. But you know this. Now, hold on. This is what I don't understand. This is what bothers me about people. People commended Jordan when he was not winning, but he was scoring a bunch of points. They said he had no help. When he got swept by the 86 Celtics, when he got swept again, nobody said, well, he don't have any help. Well, he's scoring 40, Shannon. What do you want him to do? Luka giving you 48 and 7. What do you want him to do?
Here's Jason Kidd after the game, and you would think he'd be talking about on offense because he's talking about no help for Luka. Jason Kidd said, we need to do a better job of helping him, meaning Luka. They're bringing him up into everything, meaning on defense, they're bringing him up. We knew that coming into the series. They knew he was going to be their target as their offense to Mavericks defense.
Yes.
He said, we did a better job protecting one another, not just Luka, but we've got to get back to protecting one another for Game 3, and that's all about protecting Luka. And I love Book's quote after the game. Devin Booker said of Luka, tough matchup to guard, but he's going to have to guard a bit. I thought that was a great sarcastic, dismissive quote. He's going to have to guard a bit, or you're going to get cooked.
Well, you know that's what you do against any. That's what you do against any elite scorer. You got to make it work on the other end. Yes, they're putting his ass in pick and roll. They're making him work on the other end. But Skip, if you let the Suns shoot 71% in the second half, they shoot 84% in the fourth quarter. They had a 9-minute stretch in the fourth quarter. They missed one shot. Ain't no way in hell all them shots are on Luka. So can we get anything? Can we get anything from Jalen Brunson? I mean, think about how many shots he had and how many points he had. Look at Spencer Dinwiddie. Look how many shots he had, how many points he had. At some point in time, Skip, I don't care what type of car. If you put your foot on the gas and you got a full tank of gas and you go 100, if your car go 150, you drive at 150, you're going to run out of gas. What they're asking Luka is expending so much energy just to keep this game close in the first half. And they're like, well, what happened to Luka? Hell, he out of gas. Skip, he's not in the best shape. I don't care what anybody say. Luka got to get in better shape. It's as simple as that. But to say that he's not a superstar, Luka Doncic is absolutely a superstar, or there aren't any.
Absolutely not a superstar. And by the way, another quote-unquote superstar was courtside last night. If we could see, your man Odell showed up for this game, and my thought was, well, overrated attracts overrated, right?
I mean, why, you don't want him to go to the game?
Yeah, there's Odell.
So what's he supposed to do?
He wanted to watch the overrated Luka.
Be in hiding? The man happy. He there with his girl. He just became a father. He just became a Super Bowl champion. Let the man live the life. Where Baker? Where Baker? Begging for jobs.
He's not begging.
He's begging for jobs.
Somebody should be begging him.
He in Austin, Texas. He in Austin, Texas, begging for a job. We'll work for food. Don't worry about Odell. Odell gonna get a job as soon as he can run. But let's back to the subject at hand. Skip, this notion that Luka Doncic is overrated is just not true.
I just detailed it for you. Triple threat, overrated. Turnover machine.
What about the point?
Defensive liability, poor shooter. Poor shooter from three and from the free throw line. That's even worse from the free throw line.
So let me ask you a question. How did he become the highest scorer in playoffs in NBA history?
Because he leads the league in usage rate, and he took 10 more shots than any other Dallas Maverick last night.
Who used to lead the league? Who used to lead the league in usage? Skip. The best player supposed to take the most shots. Why in the hell wouldn't he? Did Jordan never not take the most shots?
Don't put Luka in the same sentence with
Did Larry not take the most shots?
I hope
did LeBron not take the most shots?
I hope so.
I would go say KD, but I don't know if KD took the most shots in OKC. But we'll discuss that at a later date time. Exactly. But Skip, the best player is supposed to take the most shots. The best receiver on the team is supposed to get the most targets. That's what
I will give you one thing and one thing only. This man is extraordinary when he gets into the lane. I've never seen anything quite like it because it's almost hard to figure out how physically he's doing it. Because there are plays last night where he's here, there, back, forth, over, under, sidestep, footwork, and all of a sudden he wears his defender out in the lane until he finally just lays it up.
Well, the thing is, Skip, you say how is it physically possible because you're asking that question because he's not physically imposing.
He is not.
Look at him, you're like, how the hell did he hit the guy and the guy's on the ground and he's dislodging the guy? Hold on. Luka not that. When Giannis hit people and they move, you can understand it. You see the caps. When Dwight Howard was in his prime, when he hit players, LeBron moved players.
I agree.
You understood that. I'm looking at Luka, I'm like, dude, how you let the man move you like that?
The only thing I agree with Charles and his comment we just heard to start this segment is that Luka has to be stronger than you think, and it has to be all natural, like God-given strength.
He ain't on nothing.
He's not in any weight rooms that it appears to me, but he's got some sort of, he's got stature to him, and he has natural physical strength where he can bump anybody off him. And it started against Marcus Morris in the Clippers series when Marcus cheap shotted him. We're going back to the bubble, right?
Yes.
In the bubble.
Yes.
And it was a battle to the bitter end, but he was giving it to Marcus Morris is a grown man. And Marcus couldn't deal with him physically, and so he had to resort to a little bit of cheap shottery. Right?
But Skip, look, you're right. That's a Twinkie and barbecue body. If I've ever seen one, that's it. That ain't no weight room. That ain't no eating healthy. I got a chef. I will grab something on my way home, and I'm going. I'm good.
It's natural strength combined with genius. He's got basketball genius in the lane. I give you this. These are 2-point shots in the lane or getting to the free throw line, but it's harder for him to cash. If you're that guy, you should be an 88% career free throw shooter, and he's 72%.
Skip, first of all, he's never going to be 88%. Skip, there's a rarity when you find guys that shoot that good from the free throw line. You're talking about